So often young people are referred to as the future leaders. But I think we can also be the leaders of today if we can comprehend the challenges presented by climate change and embrace complexity when considering solutions to these challenges. Then we as young people can begin to build communities right now that are equipped and ready to create a sustainable future.
I think climate change is really pertinent for young people these days because although some of them don't realise it, this is going to be our future in 20, 30 years' time. And if we don't start making changes and becoming aware of it now, there's going to be a lot of stuff wrong when we grow up into adults, and we're not going to have the same choices and freedoms that adults now have. So I think working through these processes and working to come up with solutions is the best possible way of preparing ourselves for our future.
I reckon it's important because grown-ups don't have the fresh ideas that children have.
In 2015, the Parliament of Youth on Sustainability Action for Our Future project, run by Sea Change, will provide ACT school students with the chance to have their say on how we should respond to the challenges presented by climate change. The project will culminate in a one-day Parliament of Youth on Sustainability set to run at the Australian National University on the 1st of June 2015, the Monday of Week 6, Term 2. Participating students from kindergarten to year 12 will become parliamentarians for a day, seeking to agree on the best proposals for action to present to Canberra's politicians.
Well, Sea Change is a local community group in Canberra that stands for society, environment and economy. And really the future for all of those three areas stands in the hands of our young children.
The Action for Our Future project is based around a single key question for students. What is one action for our future we should take to tackle climate change? This could be an action for individuals, the ACT, Australia, or the world community. The proposals for action should be based on a sound understanding of the current thinking and action on climate change, and each proposal, whether for local or international action, should set out a clear path for how that action could start in Canberra. To focus their work, students could study one aspect of our lifestyle, such as transport, water, energy, urban planning, buildings, waste, food, laws, politics or economics. To take part in the Parliament of Youth on Sustainability, student representative teams from each participating school should complete a one-page green paper summarising their research findings and selling their proposal for action. Green papers are due to Sea Change by the 10th of April 2015, the last day of Term 1. A green paper template is available from the 2020 Vision Project team. In real life, a green paper is a policy discussion paper put out by the government. It contains a discussion of the issue being considered and proposed policies to address the problem. It's intended to promote public debate and discussion before a final decision is taken on the best policy option. Student teams also need to prepare a presentation of up to 5 minutes for delivery at the Parliament on the 1st of June 2015. Students should base the content of their presentation on their green paper. As for the presentation itself, any method to engage an audience of students of the same age and convince them of the merits of the proposal is allowed. Audio-visual equipment is available in the ANU lecture theatres for our use.
It's a really good way to develop student skills. It's easy for teachers to build it into their assessment, and it's a really fun opportunity for students to interact with students from other schools in an academic setting because they have to articulate their arguments, and they get to hear incredibly articulate students from other schools speaking and presenting evidence-based arguments.
Schools are invited to send a representative team from each of the following 4 year groups to the Parliament. Kindergarten to Year 3 with 6 students per team, Year 4 to Year 6, also 6 students per team, Year 7 to Year 9, 3 students per team, and Year 10 to Year 12, 2 students per team.
I was really impressed when I came to the lecture theatre and saw children from kindergarten or, like primary school, early primary school years, right through to senior secondary years in a big lecture theatre which mimicked the Parliament of Australia. And what I saw was really respectful interactions between not only each of the school students, but young ones who were nominated as ministers, the Speaker, who was chairing the meeting, and just the respectful way they were relating to each other and allowing each other to speak.
On the morning of the Parliament, students will assemble in age group committees to deliver their presentations to other school teams and to discuss the various proposals presented. Student parliamentarians will then vote for the best proposal in their committee and choose 1 or 2 ministers to represent their age group. In the afternoon, all of the age groups will gather for a full Parliament session. The students will then vote for the top 3 proposals presented at the Parliament. The Parliament will conclude with a question and answer session with local and hopefully federal politicians. There are also other ways to get involved in the Action for Our Future project. Students are invited to prepare an A2 Action for Our Future poster, presenting their research findings and proposal for action. A student and expert judging panel will choose the best, based on content and presentation, for display at the Parliament and inclusion as images in the final Parliament White Paper. Posters are due to sea change by the 10th of April 2015, the last day of Term 1. Year 11 and 12 students may also like to consider acting as mentors for younger students in the lead up to the Parliament, or acting as committee facilitators and event management volunteers at the Parliament.
It's really important that young people's voices keep being heard always, and I think climate change isn't going to go away in a year. Our problems with Canberra aren't going to go away in a year. You've got to keep having this kind of thing to get new ideas, to keep people motivated and to keep the ball rolling.